Hi, how are you? And welcome to the Sacred Pathway Academy with me, Allison Rozelle. I am the Energy Wellness and Empowerment Coach for women who are 40 and better. I'm also a certified Usui Reiki Master Healer and teacher at the Sacred Pathway Academy. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about Reiki, but I want to talk about it in a way that not a lot of people talk about it. So this is more of talking about the use of Reiki and the benefits of Reiki for end-of-life care. Excuse me. So currently, I am a caretaker, caregiver to an aging relative. And one of the things that I have learned and seen for myself from just using my skill as a Reiki master is the importance, benefits, and beauty of using Reiki for those who are on end of life care, also known as hospice care. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how that can be used and how it can become a beautiful experience as someone is transitioning from this life to another life. So you may have read, or maybe you didn't, that Reiki can be used for birthing, right? Like a birthing doula can use Reiki in the birthing process. When we talk about death, we understand that death is also another birth. It is birthing you from this life to the next life, sending you over to the ancestor realm. And one of the things that is important is we want to make sure that our loved ones have a peaceful journey to the other side. So Reiki is a powerful tool and beautiful way to assist in that process. So I got some notes. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. So when it comes to thinking about the spirit, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So not even when we were born, actually, when we are conceived and as we start to grow in our mother's womb, there's a spot on the top of our head that is soft. So when babies are born, they have that nice little soft spot, and you have to be very delicate with them and not, mess with it and so on and so forth. Well, this spot, which is in the crown chakra, is where spirit enters the body. And by that same token, at the time of death, it is where spirit leaves the body. So the crown chakra being unblocked and open will be very essential to your loved one having a peaceful journey to the other side. So, all right. So some of the things that Reiki can assist this person who may be under hospice care, or maybe, they're in the hospital and you know that they may not have very long and they're about to transition. And this could be for anyone, even when they may not be on hospice care very long. And the interesting thing about hospice, it can last like a day, depending on that person's journey, or it could go on for sometimes even a year. It just depends. We never really know for sure when that time is actually going to come. But when you're using Reiki, Reiki is just a powerful tool, again, to help this person in that process so that they can feel safe and they can feel calm. So one of the things that helps, one of the ways it helps for someone who is experiencing end-of-life care, it helps with agitation. What I've noticed as a caregiver is a lot of times they tend to, the patients get agitated, and some of it comes from the fact that maybe their speech is not as good as it once was, or they keep forgetting things, or they'll be in the mid sentence and start talking, and then all of a sudden forget what they were talking about, and they get agitated by that. There also could be agitation in the fact that maybe they can't move the way they want to move. Their body or their mind is telling them, yeah, get up, move. But at the same time, their body is like, yeah, no, not so much. So they can get a little agitated. But you can use Reiki to help calm that agitation so that they can be able to relax and be calm, and understanding again that they are safe and supported. That's the big thing. You want them to remember and understand that they are safe, that they are supported, and that they are loved. Another thing that it can help with is restlessness. Sometimes with that, they become restless, especially if they're bedridden. So they're in the bed like all day long, which also can add to the agitation. So if they're in the bed all day long and pretty much their life is laying in the bed and watching television, or the television watching them in a lot of cases, if they're doing that all day long, then by the time they get to nighttime, where most people are ready to go to bed, they might be a little restless and a little agitated, going back again to the agitation. So Reiki, again, can help calm that energy. So what Reiki does, for those that don't know, Reiki concentrates on those energy centers we have in our body called chakras. So there are 7 main ones, but we really have chakras all over our bodies, if the truth be told. But we concentrate on those main 7 chakras. And those are the crown, the third eye, the throat, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral, and root. And they all have their own different functions. Excuse me. So when we're talking about the functions of your chakras and keeping the energy clear, even as a person who's not in that position of about to transition from one life to the next, or at least as far as we know, keeping those energies clear help keep the balance between the spirit of us with the body or matter of us. And then the heart, of course, is the bridge. So if this person is in that phase of transition, then keeping their crown chakra open will allow them to continue that journey of enlightenment and divinity, and keeping them divinely connected so that they can also ease their fears. Some people have fears of death, because death is the unknown, right? It's the big question mark. We really, in our human experience, don't know, what's going to happen, what it feels like to die. None of us know that until we actually die. So unfortunately, if you are a person, especially for those that may not be as spiritual, sometimes death can be extremely scary, but it can also be scary for spiritual people too as well. But it can be very scary because you don't know what's going on. Your body is changing, your mind is changing, all these things are happening to you. I know my loved one that I'm taking care of has hallucinations and sees things and hears things and feels things in a very different way while they're going through this transitional period of this life. So being aware of that and using something as powerful as Reiki to go in with the universal life force energy, because that's what Reiki means. Having a Reiki practitioner, or if you are a Reiki practitioner, being able to channel that energy and send that energy to that person to be able to comfort them, to help them release things. Because yes, a lot of people, when they're in their end of life, they have a lot of regrets. They have things that they're holding on to that they need to let go of so that they can transition. They may be holding things in their heart chakra of not being able to forgive or needing someone's forgiveness. They may have some kind of guilt from something they did do or they didn't do. So there's all kinds of things because we as humans have a myriad of emotions at any given moment. And all these milestones in our lives of different experiences that we have. When you use something as powerful as Reiki to go in and help channel and clear and balance those centers, then a person can feel more free, they can feel more light, they can feel and feel more light, see more light. You know how they always talk about in movies of someone seeing the white light and going towards the light. Well, Reiki brings the light to that person, not necessarily for them to like transition right then and there, but for them to just again bring back to their remembrance that they are divinely connected. So then it also helps connect them with the ancestor realm. Yeah. So I'm also going to have a video talking about how Reiki can help you connect to your ancestors. But for this person that's transitioning, it's a comfort for them to be able to see others who have passed before them right there with them and experiencing that love and knowing that as they transition, they have loved ones, they have people who care about them that are waiting for them on the other side. So using Reiki can also open up those channels so that they can communicate with that ancestor realm. The interesting thing when it comes to people who are in that transitioning phase, going back to what I was saying about how they hear things and see things and experience things very differently now, I have no doubt that their spirit is traveling in the realm, in the ancestor realm, and all these different places that their spirit goes to show them that this is where you are, this is where you're going, and you're being prepared, right, for that transition. So having Reiki can help in so many ways, clearing that energy, easing those fears, opening them up, and hopefully if they're having like bad dreams, that it clears that energy within their mind so that their dreams are not nightmares, that they are beautiful and beautiful expressions from the ancestors, from the angels, and from God or spirit, goddess, whatever name you give. So using Reiki on end of life care to me is so essential. And it has been for my personal journey as a caretaker for my loved one. So you can combine the use of Reiki to be able to really give that person a more holistic experience. So you can combine it with other rituals and traditions that you may have. If you are a hoodoo practitioner or any of the African spiritual religions that has any sacred rituals or practices, um, or whatever your background is. And did you also know that if you are Christian, you can also use Reiki? Reiki has no religious affiliation, so it's open to everyone. That's why it's called the universal life force energy, because it just doesn't belong to just one group of people to say they have access to it. No, everyone has access to it. It's just that Reiki practitioners know how to channel it and use it as a superpower to help people in need. So you can use other forms, other rituals, other divination even if you want. You can also use things like sound therapy. And this could be using sound bowls, it could be bells, it could be drums, it could be a guitar, a flute, a ukulele, whatever. It could be piano. If you have a piano near and you want to play some music on a piano, or like your guitar, cello, whatever, just music of any kind. can be a very beautiful expression to go along with Reiki. Now, if you don't play any of those or have any of those, don't worry. You can always pick up your nice little device and go to like YouTube, SoundCloud, and go and search for like Zen music, Reiki music, or whatever, and it's right there. And you can use that in that process as well. You can also use sacred things to burn. You can do things like sage or incense or any other burning herb. Going back to, again, when it comes to rituals, whatever the ritual that you are intending, just, I'm glad I said that word. It's all about the intention that is set before the session begins. So whatever your intention is for that person is how the session will go. But you're adding to it and adding more of a holistic spiritual approach. You can also light prayer candles and pray. Again, Reiki is not affiliated to any one religion. It's for all of us. So therefore, yes, light your candles, burn your incense, clear the energy with some sage, raise the vibration with Palo Santo. Whatever you want to use is fine, as long as it feels like it's in flow with whatever the sacred intention was before the session began. You can also use various oils. You can anoint this person with oils. You can use essential oils. You can use like prayer oil, like when you go to church and they give you a nice little vial of anointed oil that's been prayed over and everything. You can use that. What I've been using is essential oils because I am a doTERRA wellness advocate, and I'll have all this information about me in the description, don't worry. But you can use oils. So the oils that I've been using on rotation with my loved one is lavender, cypress, what was the other one that I used the other day? I know I've been using frankincense and myrrh. So let's see, lavender, cypress. Oh, and copaiba. Copaiba is really good, especially if you're a person who loves CBD. Try copaiba, and yeah, it's compatible with CBD oil. I promise you. So it helps. So if they're having any kind of pain or discomfort and they don't really want to sit and just keep taking all these medications and pills, then you can give them a nice rub down and massage with any of those oils or a combination of those oils to make the experience with receiving Reiki, again, all the better. Now you can use this with, before you give them the session. You can do it after you give them the session. It doesn't really matter. But again, we're just adding to the experience for them because we want them to be comfortable. And again, we want them to feel safe, supported, and loved. So this is how you can use Reiki when it comes to helping a loved one in this transitioning phase that they're in. I'm loving the fact that a lot of people who are becoming death doulas are also being certified in Reiki. So that just really adds to their practice. And I would say if you are a death doula and you're not Reiki certified, get Reiki certified, because I promise you it's going to enhance that experience for your clients, your patients, whatever, name you give. Okay. So have any questions or comments, leave them below and share this with a friend, family members, whomever who could benefit. And thank you so much. And if you are interested in getting your certification in Reiki, I do have a course for the enlightenment, empowerment of Reiki, which is a certification course for Reiki levels 1 and 2. Again, go into the description box and you'll see my link, and it'll have every service, every course, everything that I have to offer. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this useful, and I will see you the next time. Bye for now.